Guys, I want to jump right into this without wasting any time. If you're new to the channel, hey, welcome. I think it's going to be important for me to bring you guys in for just a few minutes. Let's catch you guys up to where we're at as far as what I'm doing here. There's so many new people on all social media platforms. I mean, this is growing exponentially, and even as far as subscribers on the YouTube channel. So what started this was this truck. I call this truck Whiskey Dent. If you've been on for a few months, you know about Miss Parker, the 61 Buick LeSabre Estate Wagon. But that's not why we're here. I've got some ideas on this, and y'all remember I've told you, I don't know how to just leave stuff alone. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna bring you guys in. I'm gonna show you what I'm working with, and then I wanna wrap up and get you guys idea, or give you guys an idea of what I'm thinking. And I'm gonna need some input from y'all. Y'all are much smarter than myself. So I don't wanna waste a bunch of time. Let's go ahead and jump into this. We'll start in the back and kind of go our way forward. And then we'll just wrap it up right quick. And I need some feedback. So let's do that. So when I did this, I put this, we're gonna say C-notch in here, okay? I went ahead and cut the frame. This was a long bed, and I did the short bed conversion. I jumped on the internet and found Coyote Customs. Now, I followed his instructions on how to do the short bed cut down, and he explains it like I'm in elementary school. And when Timmy and I went to set the bed on here, the bed bolts dropped right in. It has been absolutely no problem. Okay, if you're looking at this, I'm gonna come around the back side of the camera. So I've got a battery box in here. I'll bring you guys off and show you in a minute, but I don't want to get you dizzy slinging the camera around. So a buddy donated a really cool vintage ice chest. So I've got my battery in there. I've got all my big fuses for my amps. I've got everything serviceable in there as far as fuses, one that goes to this compressor, one that goes to that compressor, a big heavy duty one that goes up to the front. Everything is broke down in such a way that if something was to happen, this truck isn't gonna burn down on the side of the road, okay? And if it does, I have a fire extinguisher right there. So the relays for my compressors in one of my big breakers are right here. So that's just an old first aid box that a buddy donated to the cause, and I put it on there and I love it. It's sealed on the top. I can shut it. There's no trouble whatsoever. But I had a relay go out, so I haven't fastened that relay in there. But I've just got a 100 amp breaker in here. There's 3 of those 100 amp breakers on this truck, okay? So that's where my relays for the compressors are. And I keep that in there because I can use my test light and get on that. You know what I mean? I can access power from the front, the inside, and the back. Okay? This is I have a 10-gallon fuel cell that's underneath here. And this is my fuel cell hole. I'll bring you guys in. The reason I did that is because I wanted to cut the exhaust through the fender, so we can't run the factory style fuel tanks, which I'm fine with. And like I said, it's 10-gallon. So we've got that there. You see that? Kind of nice. And this is a vintage box I picked up at a car sale like 20 years ago. Really cool. I used to keep all my Wizard products in it when I had shiny cars and I'd do car shows, but that's the inside of that. Let me show you the inside of the cooler, and then we're going to take a look at how this 4-link setup is set up. Because what I'm thinking is I may have to redo some of this stuff. But there's the little battery box, just a little cheap Walmart battery. That one's done me pretty good so far. I've got the good one in Miss Parker. All right, so I did the notch, all that fab work. This is all in videos you guys can go back and check out, okay? So all of that is done. It's got a Watts link on it. It's got a parallel 4-link, and it's got a cantilever bag system. The airbag is sitting back here. This thing rides really smooth, okay? I dig it. I like it. I've always wanted a bag truck. I've done it. But if you watch any of my other videos, you'll know that I don't like the noise of the compressors. I don't like noise, and I like all my shit to work. But I also don't like driving on big wheels. It just feels different. I can't get it right. I like the look, but to buzz around town and have fun and do this, nah, it's not the best, okay? But anyhow, we did the short bed conversion. I did all that fab work. I worked with airslamit.com, got all this equipment, got it all put in here. I mean, I tried to make it as nice as I can, guys. I'm a garage builder. And we just kind of patinaed this up. This is all fake patina, of course, and it's not done. And I need to put some white and some blues, and you know what I mean? We need to do all that. But that's another story. Buddy of mine, James Brees, did the door. But we have a full interior in here. You've seen the dome lights just all kicked on. Everything works in here. So I've got dolphin gauges in there. I'll take you around there in a second. Built this console. That was on a video. I've got the controller in there. You know, just the floor shifter. The carpet that was in here looked really good, so I just used that. But I did get new panels. And Timmy Stitches did all of this real nice stuff. He did the seats. These little inserts on the doors. So it's a really nice interior. You know what I mean? It works. I still haven't pulled that door lock deal that fell down in there out. And it runs well. Okay. This is for all you new guys. Okay. It runs well. I don't like the cam that's in it. I had it swapped in. A friend of mine did it and I'm not happy with it. So I'm not going to drive it much until I get that all figured out. Okay. So let me get you back in on this side of the interior. So it's got dolphin gauges in it, Alpine stereo, running about 700 watts RMS. I have a kicker. I forgot what they call it, the Pro R. It's a box that fits in here now. All Alpine or Kenwood, other than the speakers, is kicker. I've got component speakers in there. And then this thing rocks. It sounds so good. Apparently my key's in the house, so great. I've got JBL 6x9s. Oh, I forgot which ones they are. But anyhow, everything lights up, looks good. That's my heater control. That's my little deal. That's just in there. I was going to hook that to an accessory at one point in time if I need it. But my little ashtray light comes on, the glove box light. I put a new dash in here. You know what I mean? We got it looking pretty smooth. All the, you know, visors have been redone. It's Bluetooth radio. So it's, you know, it's pretty cool. Let's go to the engine side, and then I want to take you guys inside and talk to y'all about what I'm thinking about changing. Yeah. So if we're looking at this, we need to consider the fact that it's been sitting outside. It's been sitting over here in front of my shop for, I don't know, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Haven't started it, haven't done anything like that. But I want to bring you guys in and show you. That way you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. And that's going to get us one step closer to us talking about the rebirth. So I'm going to bring you in. So this is just this is a 010 block. It's got a Edelbrock AVS 650 on it. Just a performer intake. This is a 4-bolt main. It does have a 400 crank in it. So I bought it as an unknown. Turned out to be a stroker engine. It does have the 202.616 steel heads on it. I don't remember if it's like 462 or 881. I don't remember any of that. But anyhow, it runs fine. I put an aftermarket heat in there, so that's what this is, the vintage air kit. It's got nice headers. It does what it needs to do. It has a turbo 400 transmission that's slipping second gear a little bit. Hence why I'm going to need to go back in here. But I do have DV8 uppers. I've got some nice stuff on this, and I still have the insides of the fenders, you know what I mean? I just took all this out to clearance it for these big tires and wheels. And after spending a summer driving it, well, not even a summer, after driving it as much as I have, you can feel big wheels. And I come from a more of a sliding corner, doing nasty burnouts. And let's say like when kids do takeovers now, that's just stuff I like to do by myself or with a buddy in the middle of nowhere, not around 300 other people who are recording it. That's not how I get my clout. Excuse me. And I hope the wind isn't too bad. I got you guys out here because it's an overcast day. But a lot of engine work's been done. No transmission work has been done. It was a transmission out of a motorhome. I'm going to have that redone this spring. Richard from Precision Transmissions is a rocks throw on the other side of me. If y'all been around for a while, where I've got the police chief that lives behind me, he lives on the other side of the police chief. So super good dude. He'll go through the transmission. So where does that bring us? What am I bringing this up for? One, I want to show all you new guys what kind of started this. This is all simple garage built elementary small block Chevrolet, carbureted, aftermarket heat system, a good welder, and hundreds of hours. Okay, that's all that is. And anybody can do this. The young kids that come by here, you know, it's just fun. I enjoy this stuff. My nephews have a little mini truck out here that they're working on. You know, we just enjoy this stuff. This is why we do it. So I said all that to say this. Let me get situated. So I said all that to say this. I've already said that I don't like the way that big wheels ride. I just don't. Like, the suspension feels good. I love having the cantilever airbag set up. All of that is nice, and it rides well, and it does well. However, one thing when you're turning, you know what I mean? It's just not crisp. There's a lot of big turns when you're lowered out, you know what I mean? I like the way that it looks with smaller wheels. It's, you know, it's not that I have to have big wheels. However, when I did that, I built that truck to ride 24-inch wheels. Hold on, my hot ass wife is walking up. So when you run 24-inch wheels, it's not accurate at all. As a matter of fact, it's completely opposite. There's a lot of, well, you know, you like to cruise with it down a little bit, you know, maybe ride stance a little lower. There's a lot of having to maneuver around, kind of like, scoot, 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 you know. Not such a bad deal. I've always complained about the noise of the air ride pumps. So there's a few options, however, how far you want to go money-wise. We can run a compressor off the front, it fills up the tank, this and that. So, you know, I'm just pointing out a few of the cons now that I've been driving that and have drove it for a little bit. The air pumps are loud. I can relocate them and that will help. You know, I mean, there's some other deals to it. Let me think of what else. So the wheels, the air pumps, in performance, although it rides really well, I need some sway bars on it. You know what I mean? I want to tighten it up. You know what I mean? If I want to slide corners, I don't want any body roll. I want it to dig and go. Which brings me to my next point. So I got to nerding out, and you know, the Optimus series, these guys that do road racing and SCC, or I guess the SCCA, the road races and open course races and stuff like that. I've always thought that would be cool. When I first got that truck, I think most people think of, like, when they say, oh, it's a pro touring truck, that's kind of what they're thinking. You know, 20-inch wheels, 12-inch wide. And I've mentioned this before, and we still didn't do it, is big brakes, that sort of thing. So what I'm thinking of doing is seeing if, I'm going to reach out to a few guys that I just found their channels and this and that. I'll email them and be like, hey, what's the scenario on this? Because you remember, we've got 4Link. There's a lot of really good stuff on there. A Watts Link. And as far as like an airbag truck, it's built. It has no trouble. It doesn't leak down. You know, new control. I mean, it works, and it works fine. And the system rocks, and it sounds great. And it's fast. I just don't like the way it handles. So what my thinking is if I can get rid of the shocks, get coilovers on it, what will that do? Okay, I take it a step further and I'm like, you know, Ride Tech makes some pretty nice stuff. So does DV8. I've already got a lot of DV8 stuff on there. Could I get a hold of them and get me some different lowers? Does that mean I'm gonna need to pull all my air ride stuff off? I'm just kind of digging into it. I need you guys' input on this. Is my 4Link, does it set my, what do they call it, the instant center? Does my 4Link, I know it's parallel, and I have it parallel with the ground at ride height, but does it, where's the instant center at? What kind of work, what kind of geometry, what do I need to do to get this to handle what I would like to do to it engine-wise and transmission-wise? And that is to scoot out of its own way in a rapid pace, kind of like a riot. I want it to be an absolute riot to drive, but I want it to handle very, very well. Do I like having the air ride stuff on there? Absolutely, it's a cool factor. However, if you're considering, you know, it can air out if something happens, you can blow a bag there, you know, you can be sitting in a parking lot. That's one reason it's on 24s and not 22s, was I wanted it to be all the way aired out. And cross member bolts for the transmission, I have the bolts facing down, you know, so like if one rattles out, it won't lose itself. But that is my ride stop, and then I took like an 1/8 inch off, so I can barely scoot on this as it is. Okay. When your mom calls, you stop and you answer it. So what I was saying is that if I can get the coilovers on there, maybe air my bags down where I'm riding on the coilovers, pick it up just a little bit, will that be a little better? I'm trying to figure this out. Now, with the open course racing, I come across level 7. This dude and his guys build dope stuff. Very nice chassis. You know, they assemble them and they're putting LQ7s, you know what I mean? Really nice stuff in there. So I get to thinking, I'm like, if I can figure out my instant center, see how far off, see what kind of fab work I'm gonna have to do, that sort of thing, that's gonna benefit me. I'm already planning on getting different heads intake, and I've got a fuel injection system I can put on this. I've got, I don't know, 2 other nice carburetors, 2 Holleys, ABS 800, you know what I mean? So we can spice it up and have this thing scooting again in no time. Go ahead and put a new cam in. We're planning on doing that stuff pretty soon anyway. Should I consider pulling out the air ride system and just going a good set of Ride Tech cooler, you know, just a good company's coilovers, some different lower control arms, and redoing some geometry back there? Or should I just keep it bagged, maybe move to a smaller tire where I have to raise it up but it still looks super low? You guys fill me in on all your secrets. I don't really know. I still got to build the bed and all that stuff, so that has to be done anyhow. But I've just been pondering it, and reason being is the engine and transmission for Miss Parker are done. Okay, they're ready to. I've got to get that engine and transmission out and put that one in. Don't want to get into that until I have enough time. This car, I would still sell this in a minute and a half if someone had enough cash. I'm not married to it. And it's kind of one of those things, if I found a nice road course ready chassis, so should that be something I consider, and just build another truck and leave that one on airbags? You know, I don't know. And if I make a plan, I'll just cancel it. Let me walk you around the shop right quick. Have a lot of people asking about the white walls. How long do they last? How does it hold up? How do they look? Let me catch you guys up on a couple of shop things while y'all think about that. Drop it in the comments. And let's look at these. You never been here. This is world headquarters, Potter County, Patina. So these have been sitting on the wagon all year long, okay? I can see a little bit that's flaking off here, flaking off there, you know what I mean? It's not, it hasn't been the greatest. This tire went flat and that happened, you know what I mean? So as they sit in the hot Texas sun, you know, some of it gets to flaking, some of it doesn't. Can you just wire brush it off and do it again in a year? Probably. And then again, if you keep it in your garage, that probably wouldn't happen. And drive it, you know what I mean? They're just sitting in the same spot, and I'd move it back, move it in. So that's kind of expected. Let's see what else. Let me catch you up. So that's the transmission and the 401 nail-head engine for Miss Parker. Miss Parker has the wheels on. I have some S10 front coils I can put on the front and see if I can lower it a little bit. But I don't want to get into spending money on that when I'm still saving nickels and dimes for the roller cam, roller heads, plenum volume, you know, air gap intake, that sort of thing. I don't want to get into Miss Parker until Whiskey Den's done. So, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out. My little neighbor boys are probably fixing to stop by my shop and see what I'm doing. It's Friday night. It's not hot. We're supposed to have snow tomorrow, so everybody's doing what they're going to do. But appreciate y'all hanging out. That's Whiskey Dent. There's probably going to be a rebirth. Appreciate your time. You guys let me know where you're from, what you got going on. You a shop builder, garage builder, you just like cool junk? Leave it in the comments, and I'll get back to you. So anyway, guys, I appreciate your time, and let me know what you think. Coilovers versus air ride. Get rid of the noise on the air ride, put smaller tires on, rip corners, get the suspension set up where it's nice and tight, and I can just trash it. You know what I mean? It's kind of what I'm thinking. So I don't know. Till next time, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Peace and cheers.